Here we have a convenient list that I ran into while learning about Puerto Rico. See, Puerto Rico has a population of 3.4 million. And I realized that this list was a list that, man, it has a lot of states on it. A lot of states that went for Donald Trump. And what's funny is that only a couple of these states have populations equal to the amount that Hillary Clinton won the election by. So, the people in, say, a good one would be Nevada, I believe. Nevada was kind of close. It's got 2.8 million people. That's about how much Hillary won by. But she doesn't get to be president because of Nevada's electoral votes and because of these other electoral votes. But the thing is, not everybody in Nevada voted for Hillary Clinton. Not everybody in any of these states voted for Hillary Clinton. In fact, one of the most anomalous things about this election is how a state like Texas was actually very close. Yet, you'd normally expect Texas to wind up like Louisiana did, where you had 66% for Trump. You know, around 60% for Trump is usually Texas would be about 60% for the Republicans. But Trump only got like 58, 59%. He did weaker there and somehow did better in blue states. Oh, nothing anomalous happened here. But I'm not here to debate what I've already proven, which is that Russian hacking and propaganda has stolen our democracy, not just this election. I told you over a year and a half ago that the Cold War never ended. We lost. And I've proven to you, time and time again, that Democrats have no fair say-so. We are not allowed discourse. I'm starting to wonder if my emails are even allowed to be sent anymore. Like, people's subscribers are dropping, people's views have tanked, they're getting videos demonetized without being notified. I'm not just the only one. I was just one of the first ones to notice. And now we have the election that Hillary Clinton won being handed to Donald Trump, the traitor, who is incapable of performing his duties in any capacity. Between treason and conflicts of interest, illiteracy and incompetency. Between the corruption, outright theft, and his shady campaign. Dealing money to itself. Profiting him. Self-dealing. They admitted it, and nobody fucking batted an eyelash. So we're going to hand the country over to this guy because some archaic group of corrupt, bribed off fucks said so. Because their votes count more than ours do. Their votes count more than their state's populations actually do. Because none of these fucking states below here are even as big as the margin by which Hillary won. So you take all 3 Dakotas and Montana, okay, all that red spot that y'all like to brag about on the map, yeah, Hillary won by that. And frankly, if you count the black people that would have voted if they weren't stressing about the Trump fuckers, if you count the votes that were straight Democrat that got switched over to Republican by the Diebold machines, again, oh, but there's no evidence of hacking. You want to know why? Because there's no way to detect a scalar wave hack. There's no way to detect a high-frequency hack. There's no way to detect a hyperfrequency hack. You can't do it. You can see the effects. That's it. We see the effects. The numbers are off, and the fucking Russian puppet is president. Excuse me. Precedent. I misspoke. He will never be president. Not in the eyes of truth. And not in the eyes of the law, as written in the Constitution. Because it says that the majority of the electors only matters if the person receives the majority of the votes. They're not being redundant. They're not saying the same fucking thing twice. And if they were, they would say the person who gets the most electors, not the most votes. The electors were just supposed to write down the votes that the states made and turn them into the capital in person. The electors are the ones who are supposed to certify their vote totals for their districts and deliver them in person to Congress. How long has it been since we even had a valid election in this country? That can be intellectually discussed. But what's going on right now still needs to be practically discussed. Because here's what's going to happen, folks. If Putin can rely on Trump, which he can, he will attack Turkey on Christmas Day, the same way they attacked Afghanistan. He will simultaneously invade Latvia, Lithuania, and annex Moldova, while promoting hybrid warfare throughout Yugoslavia, Slovenia, Hungary, basically everywhere there's a big right-wing nationalist movement. Then Greece is going to start protesting NATO bases, kick NATO out, and ask for annexation, and the Iron Curtain will have fallen once again. And that's if the left-wing and right-wing nuts don't get together and burn down the establishment because we're trying to defend NATO reflexively, and Donald Trump starts complaining about it, and Congress doesn't want to listen, so all the far left and all the right are going to make sure Humpty Dumpty gets put back together again or something. All the far left and all the far right, man. They're all going to oppose support of NATO. Don't you understand that? I'm right. You're wrong. I don't care who the fuck you are. I don't care how little you think of me. If we were in school together, I would be the one who was ahead of you, no matter who you are. I know this because I've been to 21 different schools, and no one's ever been ahead of me. Ever. I'm sorry to be bragging about my intellect when my intellect is crucial for the survival of this nation, but I consider it to be somewhat necessary. I'm not a perfect being, nor would I desire to be. The concept of perfection is childish. But when it comes to the things that I'm good at, which analysis of wide-ranging data is generally what I'm good at, people who know me listen to me. Because if you keep track of what I say is going to happen, and then you pay attention to what actually happens, and you don't listen to the propaganda explanation for it, you realize that I'm right about everything. Because if I'm not right about something, I generally don't bother squeezing my own fucking head. I have stupid thoughts all the time. Believe me, stupid thoughts. Like, hilarious levels of stupid thoughts. But I don't make them fucking Twitter posts that could affect national security. You know? And I try not to have any of them come in my YouTube videos. I consider things that I claim before I put them on here. And I'll tell you if I figure out, I'll try to tell you if I figure out something in real time or have a theory in real time. I'll let you know when something's theoretical. Unless it's, obvious. This is not theoretical. These states, even though all of them didn't vote for Hillary Clinton, all the people in these Republican states, okay, they didn't vote, all of them, for Donald Trump. Okay, but all of their electors went to Donald Trump. Okay? And for that reason, Hillary Clinton gets to not be president, even though she won the popular vote. And she won that popular vote by a larger margin than the populations of many of these states. These are millions. That's 2 million. Okay, so that's 2.8 and down. 2 million. Oh, Hillary won that one. Nebraska, West Virginia, Idaho, no, Idaho. This is ridiculous. And the fact of the matter is, the Constitution says whoever gets the most votes, not whoever gets the most electors, gets to be president. And if they were talking about electoral votes, they would have said electoral votes.